Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Off of the reaction video, and we're gonna move into the question of the day. Let me get that ready for y'all, man. Let me get that ready for y'all. We got a good question of the day. This one gonna be fun. A lot of fun. We're gonna have straight fun with it. All right, so the question of the day, here we go. What are your top 5 black love story films? Top 5 black love story films. So for me, I'm gonna start with 5, and then I'm gonna work my way through. So black love story films. I'm gonna go at 5. Y'all gonna think I'm toxic, but at 5, I'm going Baby Boy. I'm going Baby Boy at 5. You got Jody and Yvette. They together. They had their ups and their downs. They young. Lacking wisdom, lacking, knowledge, but seeking it, desiring it, ambitious, but just finding their way. And through all the navigating of the toxicity and the learning on each other, hurting each other's feelings, learning how to deal and cope with their own emotions. They got to a place by the end of the film where they were able to get married. Jody put a ring on it. All the storms they weathered prior to locking it in and making a covenant and taking vows, Jody and Yvette really got to know each other for real, got to learn each other and appreciate each other for a multitude of different reasons that were more powerful than the toxicity that they had. A lot of it was just growing pains if you look at it. A lot of it was just growing pains. Jody lacked a lot of guidance. And Yvette, she was at that age where she was young and foolish for a boy. But at the end of the day, they weathered all the storms. Jody kept himself safe, proved to be a protector and a provider by the end of the film. And again, they locked it in, got engaged to be married. I believe they got married. And also we're bringing and expecting another child into the world. So I got to go Baby Boy at number 5. Top 5 black love story films. At number 4. At number 4, we gonna go Brown Sugar. At number 4, I'm going Brown Sugar. Black love story films. You had Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan in the film in Brown Sugar as the lead characters. And then you had Mos Def and Queen Latifah and they supporting roles. But you already know what it is. They was like best friends coming up. I believe they said in the film, Taye Diggs brought up something about them trying to date at some point when they was in college. Sanaa Lathan didn't really see it that way, or whatever the case may be. They didn't explore it. They didn't go down that avenue. Boom. They stay best friends. They stay locked in. They move into adulthood, become successful in their careers, go their own ways romantically. Taye Diggs had Nicole Ari Parker as his wife. They got married, ended up not working out due to negligence, I believe. There was a situation where they got to a rough patch in their marriage. Nicole Ari Parker seemed she was like a boss lady in the film. Taye Diggs was an ambitious man. He was in an executive role at a record label, decided to go independent. That was going to take a while to drum up resources and become lucrative. Nicole Ari Parker felt like she should have been included on the decision further. Taye Diggs made an executive decision as a man. I believe that was the beginning of the end for that marriage, to be honest with you, in Brown Sugar. But all in all, Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan in the movie realized they had a love for each other beyond their friendship. And by the end of the movie, they circled around and actually locked in. And it was just a dope story. It was a dope film. I think it was kind of evil in certain spots because you could tell throughout the movie there was telltale signs before they went too far in their relationships that they were in love with each other and they still proceeded to waste those people's time because Boris Kojo was dating Sanaa Lathan in the film, and you know, they was a real serious thing, and that relationship again ended pretty much for the same thing, some level of negligence and disconnect, you know. And then also the fact that they both were in love with their best friend, respectively. Tay Diggs with Nicole Ari Parker, you know, and then Sanaa Lathan with Boris Kojo. They both in love with each other, so it broke their respective relationships up. But you gotta respect it for what it is. The movie was centered around love for hip hop. You know what I mean? Centered in New York. Like it's just a dope, classic ass film. I might watch one of these tonight after getting off of this live for sure. It's got me in that mood. It makes feel good just to talk about these films. But we going with Brown Sugar at number 4. Number 3, top 5 black love story films. I'm gonna go with at 3, Love and Basketball. I'm going Love and Basketball at 3. Top 5 black love story films. I'm going with Love and Basketball. The good old fashioned classic story of Monica and Quincy. You know, yo Q and Monica. Monica. Yeah. Monica and Quincy. It don't get no more classic than that. We gotta go Love and Basketball. The girl next door story. You know what I mean? The cute girl moving next door. She's super tomboyed up. Grow up to be hella cute. Always been in love with you. You know, it's an easy call. You know, Quincy, they say Quincy was a dog. They say Quincy never told her in the whole movie that he loved her. But Quincy I wouldn't even say he was a dog. I would say that he was stoic. You know, men aren't necessarily supposed to be, you know, all men aren't going to be overly expressive vocally. Quincy hugged her, he cuddled her, they rubbed ice on each other, they played games, they cracked jokes, you know. He was her first, and to our knowledge, via the movie, her only. So Q done what he was supposed to do in the end, made a very hard decision to call off his wedding, and ultimately end up marrying and starting a family with Monica. So I don't know how much of a dog Quincy was. I think that Quincy being young and having a lot of access to a lot of females at his fingertips, I think he had to learn to like who like him. Because Monica was cute, but there was plenty of good looking women that wanted cute. So her just being cute wasn't going to necessarily be enough. He had to get mature enough to understand that, you know, that was real love over there. You know what I mean? So at number 3, I'm going with Love and Basketball. I know what my number 1 going to be, but I got to think what my number 2 top 5 black love story film. We on number 2. So just for a recap for the person that just jumped in the chat, 333, if you with me. But so for the top 5 black love story films, I came in at number 5. I said Baby Boy. Number 4, Brown Sugar. Number 3, we went with Love and Basketball. So for number 2 on the top 5 black love story films, I'm gonna go with Sylvie's Love. Sylvie's Love was that business. I do not like how bro was simped out. You know, I always felt like Sylvie should have went with him when he left initially, but they had to spin the block on each other. It became, I just feel like in Sylvie's Love, and yes, it's a movie, yes, it's a written film, and it has to have its rise and fall in action, but that just means that's why it's number 2. The fact that I got these sentiments at all, right? It made me feel. It's a good film, right? It made me feel, but I just felt like Sylvie should have went with him when he was going out. She should have went with him off rip. Now when they double back to each other, and that'd be my issue with double backs anyway, is that now when they double back to each other, it comes with all this extra sometimes, you know? just the baggage that you pick up in the meantime, in between time, before y'all work y'all way back around. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with that. But like, I would have to put it in the top, probably put it at number 2, just because it has so many layers to it, and it was so centered around them. It was so centered around their love and everything like that. So it's just, you know, it was one of those things where you can't deny it. It's got to go at number 2, even though certain things about the movie that irk me. But like I said, that's what makes for a great film, because it makes you feel. But I can't deny it. So I'm gonna put that at number 2. So far, top 5, we got Baby Boy at 5, Brown Sugar at 4. At number 3, we got Love and Basketball. Number 2, Sylvie's Love. And my number 1, Black love story film. This is just my favorites, my top 5, my personal top 5. About Last Night, the remake with Michael Ealy, Kevin Hart, Regina Hall. That joint is fire. It's my favorite. I rewatch it on a regular basis. It's got humor, it's got emotion, it's got just a real nice balance of a lot of different things. It's got that New York metropolitan feel to it. You know, I love that go-go city vibe in a movie. I don't like to live that way. I'm not a city person myself. I'm more of the older I get, I like to be in a rural environment, you know, kind of out the way, a little quarter mile away from the nearest neighbor type vibes. But for films, I love city movies. I love movies that are located downtown and penthouses. Michael Ealy has a dope ass loft in the film. Yeah, I'm with all that. And I just love About Last Night. It's my favorite rewatch as far as Black love story films. And again, in that film, another double back. They ain't get it right the first time. And distance made the heart grow fonder, and them folks came back around. Both of them swallowed their pride and decided to take that walk in the park that they need to take to have some important conversation. And, you know, we can presume the way the movie ends that it's a happily ever after. Now, About Last Night with Michael Ealy and Kevin Hart, that one is a remake of the original that had white folks in it, but I like the Black remake. You know what I mean? And it would qualify, even though the movie has a very, very mixed cast of people. The 4 main characters are all Black, and both couples, the main couples in the film, are Black. So yeah, I love it. That's my top 5 for Black love story films, and that's my explanation. But yeah, man, drop y'all top 5 in the comments. Let's have some fun with this one. Let's debate. Tell me what y'all didn't like about my top 5. Tell me which movies in my top 5 you absolutely despise. Tell me which movies didn't even belong in the conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun, y'all. But yeah, we're going to move on, and we're going to move to the code language conversation.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.